gentlemen, welcome to CCS Season 2. Today is Playday number 4. My name is Titangles, and today I am joined by a couple of casters you probably already know well by now. Mr. Foxay, how we doing today?
I'm doing wonderful.
And, of course, Mr. Talon. How's it hanging?
You stole my line. I was going to say, how's it hanging?
Well, at least you didn't say low and to the left, you know? What
no,
a matchup was that last game. What a matchup was that last game. I think it threw an overwhelming majority of people for a loop because prior to the match, sorry we didn't mention this before, but prior to the match we took a community vote and 71% had said that Reckless was going to take it. So what a map.
Yep, but sorry to cut you off, but
No.
I just think to take into consideration is that Reckless. I think a majority of people thought that their two main players were going to be there, and the fact that they're at TwitchCon definitely injured them a lot. So, I mean, nothing, not to take away anything from BA. They played a great game, but yeah,
Absolutely.
it wasn't.
Well, enough about the last game because we have another exciting matchup for you guys tonight. Prevail Gaming is taking on Reverse Esports. Now, both of these teams lost their first matchup. I believe Prevail played off stream, so we didn't catch that game. But they're currently sitting at 9 and 12 in the ranking system right now, which after 1 week you can't really put too much into. What do you guys think about these teams? Fox, I'll let you start us off.
I mean, I'm definitely one of those. I'm one of those players that if I don't know, I haven't watched the first season of CCS, so personally, I haven't really heard that much of either team. Although I casted Reverse, I know a little bit about them. Hopefully, they're able to play. I mean, better than they did, and I mean, they're against a team that's more their caliber than I'm pretty sure Flipside was. And then PVL, again, I've seen some names in ranked, but I've never personally met any of them or watched much of their game. So I'm kind of in the dark right now. So hopefully we can see like a good matchup from these two teams.
Yeah, honestly, I think Prevail is definitely going to be the favored team coming into this matchup. You know, Reverse, they did have a pretty rough season 1 matchup against, you know, Flipside on stream. That's a little bit unlucky for them. You know, obviously, you know, Flipside coming in from Pro League. But again, I still think that this is probably going to be a 2-0 in favor of Prevail, you know, unless Reverse comes up with something, you know, pretty crazy. I don't really expect too much out of them, you know, so far. But, you know, who knows? You know, maybe just because that, you know, they played Flipside and they didn't really play their game. Maybe they got a little bit nervous, you know. So, again, you know, maybe you're right. You know, maybe playing someone a little bit more their level will definitely help out their situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know a lot about these teams either, but I'm looking forward to finding out. So let's start off by having a quick look at the starting 5 tonight for Prevail.
Now, from Prevail, we are going to have Reaper, Lance, or Lance 3, Mango, Evening, and Scorch. And a big thing from this roster that I noticed is, if you're looking at the stats, is that Scorch's KD is so much higher than everyone else on his team. So, I mean, I'm going to chalk it down to the fact that he plays Jackal Jaeger, and he's the entry and needs to get the frag. So, hopefully in this matchup, he'll still be able to bring that kind of fire that he had in the last game. Even though they lost it, he still had really good stats. Hopefully he can still bring the same amount of fire, and the rest of his team can kind of follow through, especially at a team at their caliber, you know, kind of play at the same level as he is right now.
Yeah, exactly. You know, none of these names are particularly infamous or anything. You know, I have seen a little bit of Reaper. You know, I believe he was in last season CCS. Correct me if I'm wrong, but other than that, I mean, the rest of these guys really haven't been around all that much. They're namely just a lot of ranked players that, you know, got together. So really looking to see, you know, how well do they work together? You know, how well can they frag? You know, that's really the big part, is that, especially that teamwork. You know, if you don't have teamwork, it doesn't matter how good your shot is. If you can't work together, then that doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good look at Prevail. Now let's flip on over and have a look at the lineup today for Reverse Esports. Talon, take it away.
So for Reverse, we're going to have Avenge, Tater, Insane, Pretz, and Boulder. Again, we didn't really see too much out of any one of these guys as they were facing Flipside. Flipside just, handedly defeated them 2-0. And they a couple of them did get a couple of kills. Prez did get 7, so I gotta say, not too bad. We haven't seen anything from Boulder yet. Other than that, rest of the kills looking mighty low. But this is gonna be their game. I got a feeling reverse. I'm rooting for you guys. Always got to root for those underdogs. I know you guys can make something happen, and I'm really hoping to see how well that they actually go through the ban phase.
I don't want to say who's gonna win or who's gonna do well, because clearly from last match I thought Reckless was gonna 2-0 and they ended up getting 2-1. So I'm not gonna say anything. But I think Boulder, the fact that he doesn't, this is his first matchup. Hopefully he can skyrocket, just so his stats look a lot more cleaner than the rest of his teams. Just so he has that kind of pivoting moves, or so that he can hold that over his team. I just think that would be really funny and ironic. But again, watching them against Flipside, they took 1 or 2 rounds and did decently. They showed some light, but I hope they can channel all of that, watch the VOD, and kind of perform a lot better this match.
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off there, but the bans have begun and are underway. Let's see what the first few are. Looks like Bank, Cafe, and Clubhouse, as these guys are cruising right along. What do you guys think about this? Talon?
Yeah, nothing, again, nothing too crazy. Bank and Cafe, kind of off meta for CCS. Cafe has seen a lot more of play in the Pro League. Clubhouse is one we just got off of, so the fact that Prevail just didn't want to play Clubhouse says, all right, maybe they're not as confident on attacks. Maybe they're just not confident as a team together. I totally understand that. Skyscraper, once again, Skyscraper and Coastline, by the way, both of those maps, just one Reverse was banned, the other one, Prevail's banned. They're just saying kind of mutually, all right, we don't want to play these maps. We're going to take out one of these bad maps. You're going to take out the other one, and they both kind of works out that way. Final ban will be Reverse on Chalet. Very first pick for Prevail was going to be Oregon. That leaves us, of course, is probably going to be Reverse is probably going to pick Border, honestly. And then, of course, the last map is going to be Consulate. I don't see any other way. I don't think Reverse is going to try and do something else. Yep, that's going to be it. So first map is going to be Oregon. Second one's going to be Border. Third map is going to be Consulate. Fox, what do you think about that?
I mean, the map bans, it's not too out of the blue for me, mainly because the teams that you see play Cafe, Bank, Skyscraper, these kind of big maps, Coastline, these maps that most teams generally, I think a team that's been together for a while and has the experience on it, or a more experienced team, will opt to choose these maps rather than the others, because there's some things that haven't been shown in the limelight yet that they can use, or have something that they've had hidden as kind of an advantage. It's one of those maps where it's uncommon for lower teams to play, because the first maps when you make a straight team is, oh, we got to learn Oregon, Border, Consulate, the basic maps, because those are the maps that are played the most, so you want to have a basis on it in case you have to play them. I've never heard of a team that gets together and they're like, yeah, we'll play Bank, we'll play Coastline, and we'll pick Skyscraper as our first maps to learn. So nothing out of the blue. I don't know much about these teams. I know that Reverse definitely did play Border and Oregon on the last week's match. So hopefully they watched the clips, because they did have some good plays. But unfortunately, they just came a little short. So hopefully they can watch that, use it as a tool to help them get better, and bring something new to this game that we're going to see against Prevail.
Gotcha. With that, both these teams are ready, so we will get underway as soon as the lobby goes. We are now ready. Here we go into map number 1. It's going to be Oregon, Prevail versus Reverse. Prevail is going to be starting on attack. I did want to mention up one more thing on those bans. You did mention, hey, in new teams, you're not going to come in and playing all these weird coastlines off the beginning, and that's because you have a much higher risk of someone banning those maps if they're just off meta. So as a new team, you want to actually stay safer on those more meta picks, because you're more likely to play those rather than a coastline. So sure, if you do manage to get a coastline, and if that's all you play as a new team, sure, that's fantastic. But what if it gets banned against you? All that time is now wasted, and then suddenly you're playing on these other regular maps that everyone is just so good at, and you're going to get stopped. So that's kind of one of those reasons. I just want to kind of throw that out there, why you don't really see too many off meta maps, especially in a lower league, kind of like CCS compared to ESL. ESL, we start to see a lot more coastline and, a lot more Skyscraper, a lot more other picks, because then teams are now starting to kind of counterban each other. Now, speaking of counterplay, we will be seeing, looks like it's going to be Reverse starting upstairs first. This is something that we have not seen so far. Last time we saw Oregon, last series, I should say, excuse me, both teams started downstairs. Both teams decided to actually favor that downstairs. Even when they lost, they went back downstairs. So that the fact that we're seeing this upstairs actually very well could be throwing Prevail through a loop. Where as I say that, though, I realize, hey, they got a Hibana, they've got a Thermite, they got a Thatcher, they have an Ashe, and they even have a Ying. So they've got everything that they need to potentially make this happen. The only thing that, in my opinion, that they're missing is a Blackbeard. Blackbeard is super, super useful in this upstairs attack, but it's not exactly critical, especially if they're going for a tower push, which looks like they are.
Something that's very unique to this strat is that they had a castle, and most times when a team picks upstairs, they aren't gonna lean towards picking a castle, mainly because she doesn't have that close quarter fire combat with the UMP, like the super high fire rate, and there's not much room to kind of put it upstairs, but they're using it to lock down the meeting hall, and a lot of teams don't really favor going through meeting to take a site, but if this team kind of leans towards it, it's going to be a good way to counter them. And I see that they're doing kind of like an aggressive tower take, an aggressive attic take. So hopefully this castle play will benefit them. But, I'm not expecting too much from it. If he gets a couple kills, then I'll just stop making predictions right away because I've just been wrong about everything so far tonight. So.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it this way. Someone's got to lose, right? So you might as well, be one of the other teams. So you never know, but you can just take the best educated guess. We're already a minute and 40 into, or we're a minute 40 left now, and Prevail honestly hasn't done that much. I mean, we've been seeing just kind of reverse, just kind of sitting there, just like, all right, well, what's going on? Like, what's happening? We're finally now seeing Scorch on the Ying is now pushed up. They've droned out the attic, so nothing crazy going on there. We're gonna have a couple of roamers inside the meeting, but I mean, other than that, there's a lot of wasted time. They're finally now getting this open. I would have liked to have seen that get that small dorms open at about 2 minutes. I think that would have really helped work it out. However, first kill on the board is going to be Tater onto Mango. That's reverse starting it up.
I was gonna say that they had all that effort to hold that meeting, but there's nobody in attic. Like they just gave attic away. But unfortunately, I guess they were holding the angle, and when Ash was trying to come through to get the frag, he just unfortunately met his timely end due to the angle holding. But Thatcher's going to be holding that angle where a Blackbeard would be useful, but Avenge is going to take his head off, missing the Ela charge, but the smokes are going to push the bomb back. 40 seconds on the clock, and Avenge will re-peek into Scorch and taking him down. That's their best stats player on the team. I was going to say top fragger, but they hasn't been any frags yet. But 30 seconds on the clock, and Reaper is going to be eating an Ela charge right there. Going to be the only one there, as his teammate is going to be coming to help, but an angle into attic is going to down Evening. So Reaper is going to be the last one-man army alive with 20 seconds against 4, and it's going to be kind of a difficult thing, especially as the time's ticking down. Only 12 seconds left, and he's just kind of relaxing and waiting. He knows that it's going to be almost impossible. Pretz is kind of coming to draw some more time out. He's just going to sit down, hunker down. He did have the angle onto him, but looked away at the wrong time, and Tater is going to pick up Reaper as Insane finished off Pretz. So that is going to be a good round from Reverse, and that's going to be the first round to them.
I'll say they actually fragged out very, very well. Reverse, honestly, they dominated that round, and they finished it with only one death on the hands of Boulder. And honestly, that was really solid. I mean, Avenge, Tater, and Sadie, they did very well, able to really kind of collapse on them. I got to say, very, very impressive. Going into this next round, we will be seeing Insane playing on that Buck. We kind of touched on this a little bit on the last series, but again, that Buck is just such a risky pick off of that very first round, just because you don't know if they're going to go up or if they're going to go down. And if they go down, there's just not that much the Buck can be used for. I would have much rather have liked to have seen maybe like a sledge to try and hold those long angles. Honestly, I can see why you'd want to bring it in case they do go like upstairs so you can get underneath, but there's just nothing to really buck. There's no floors to buck unless you're really trying to really hunt down those roamers that a sledge can't do.
That meeting hall angle that the Jaeger was holding up into the master bedroom is actually a unique angle. I actually never thought about that, mainly because most more experienced teams won't really they'll choose going into kitchen or going into kids, going into big window, something more open and isolated from the rest of the site rather than the front take. Because like you saw, as soon as Thermite opened it up, there was just so many angles they were exposed to, and their heads were just spinning. They were just so stuck, and they had nothing to do. But as the next round starts coming in, 20 seconds have been already rammed off the clock, and they're just going to be slowly coming up to the site, as it looks like PVL is going to be doing the same hold, or kind of a same hold that they were doing with the castle and holding into tower. Now, this castle that they have in kitchen is actually really interesting. I'm pretty sure Ash already hit it a couple times, but right behind it, they have a Mira. So if they just slam it open and try and run through, that's going to be a really unlucky thing. But it's already going to be open, and Manko's just going to be holding the angle. They don't really have like kind of a vault hole. Oh, they do in the corner. Never mind. But yeah, a minute already off the clock, and the team hasn't really pushed into site at all. They're kind of just stuck right now, trying to figure out what they want to do as Buck slowly push into site. Good rotate, but is unlucky for Scorch. But he is going to run out and get Avenge, as his teammate Insane is going to pick up the trade. And I'm pretty sure Tater was out there too, holding the angle. So maybe he was on a drone and he just wasn't able to react fast enough. But that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like Tater's actually just now coming outside of kitchen, realizes that there's a mirror there, says, nope, we can't do it. I gotta say, interesting decision making, I'm gonna say, from Scorch to, hop out and give up that big tower control. I mean, yeah, sure, you got the Capital, and that's certainly a really big pickup, but is it really that important to give up the big tower? And personally, I don't think so, especially when you still have meeting control. You're not just out there by yourself. You still have options to get around safely. You can still, cause a lot of issues. So it looks like the Buck from the attic is going to really try and put a thorn in everyone's side. That's going to cause Mango to drop down. And with a minute left in meeting control, honestly, Reverse can still do this. They don't have the Capital, so they are a little bit weakened. However, with meeting control, there's a lot that you can do. You can get those hatches open. You can start trying to work with it. Now, there are no smoke grenades left, so that Capital pick might have actually been worth a little bit more, because it's just so common to try and go for the smoke plants nowadays, because, the smoke is effectively fixed, and I love it. It's really amazing. But looks like we'll be seeing a little bit of an initiate here as Hibana rushes all the way up and through. Ash rushes wide as the angle from above is not able to prevent the castle from rushing through. Prevents the plant. Is now a 4-on-2. Reverse is not going to really have a great time, but just as I say that, Prez comes down and picks up one and is looking to get the diffuser, unable to pick up the head of smoke as he gets up and looking for the plant. Buck is nowhere around as he gets picked up. It's all up to Prez in a 1-on-2 situation. He does have the diffuser though, so he does have that option. Mira is going to be close up on the right. Not going to happen. Actually, if he would have gotten that kill, he very well could have clutched that, because Prez is able to pick up a Claymore kill over towards the end, bring it to a 1-on-1. Great job from them. Reverse so close, but not quite able to clean it out.
Yeah, my heart was racing there. I was really hoping that Pretz would look to the right and kind of redeem himself, because as you saw at the beginning, when Castle pushed up to get the original kill onto the bomb diffuser, a lot of shots were missed, and that came from Pretz. I guess it was like a rough angle. He just wasn't able to, find he hit Castle a couple times, but he wasn't able to completely connect, and Castle was just able to get the pick. Something I didn't really understand is why Tater on Ash wide peaked.
Yes.
That's something I didn't completely get, but hey, he did it, and I don't know. I think that really costed them a big part of the round, because no one was pushing them other than the Castle, who was close up, and he could have done so much. But good job from Pretz to be able to get those kills and try and almost win the round, but unfortunately, the 1v1 didn't go in his favor. So with that, we're going to be going to this next round, and there's nothing really too out of the ordinary. They got a Jackal and an Ash and a Twitch, which is something you don't really see. Well, in my opinion, because usually Jackal and Ash are interchangeable, and Twitch is useful if you don't have a Thatcher, which I can understand that, but I'd much prefer a Thatcher on a basement take like this. What do you think, Talon?
I can honestly see it both ways. And the reason I say that is because, there's nothing that you can't deny other than like maybe a mute jammer preventing the hatch from getting open. So you don't really need the Thatcher as long as you can shoot all the ADSs from above, test out for ADSs, throw some flashbangs around, and then go from there. Your only real big weakness is that you can't really get rid of batteries effectively if they're, on like say the meeting wall. However, with that Twitch drone, that does also kind of give you the ability to try and open up one of those mirrors down there. And let me tell you, if you can get that mirror open down in the basement, that's effectively a GG. Like you got that round like in the bag. And like just as I say that, honestly, Tater and of course, the Twitch there's two big mistakes, that really lost Reverse that last round. They were just so close. Again, letting that Castle get too close, and then Tater going out for that wide peak. Honestly, I don't think they're going to do it again. I think it's just maybe a little bit of nerves getting to them a little bit earlier in this matchup, but they can bring it back still. I still believe in them. But again, we'll focus on this round number 3.
And
honestly, nothing's happening.
Yeah, no, Boulder is going to be in this attic, and he made an impact hole. I thought he was going to chase the Jackal, but he didn't really he didn't make an impact with his impact. He just kind of waited. But we're gonna have Mango here. He's gonna have the complete meeting cut open with Pretz and Tater on both either side. So, if Mango tries to run through that, he's gonna get hit from one of the sides. Boulder's gonna be here by himself trying to shoot. That's some good teamwork from Reaper to get his teammate Lance in there, but unfortunately he kind of just baited his teammate out for nothing. Ying Ball is going to be used here to get rid of him, and it is going to blind him, but he's going to get a pistol kill onto Scourge as Mango cleans up Tater downstairs, and Reaper is going to finish up Boulder, making it an even 3-on-3, but Boulder should not have he got one of those kills, which he shouldn't have, since Reaper was holding the angle, and then he got the other one full blind on a pistol. That was just unlucky, but Pretz with unneeded aggression is going to push into the crosshairs of Mango, and Mango's going to clean it up, getting the favor into the attackers. And now they kind of just got to fall back as a team, get rid of Barb, and go for a plant with 50 seconds slowly ticking down.
Gotta remember, both Ying and Jackal, that's all of the smokes out of the way. And great job on that battery there. That is one thing, coming back to them, there's no Thatcher, so you can't quite get that battery off of that mirror. And, you are relying completely on that Twitch to make something happen. Not going to be able to really open up that mirror. And with no smokes remaining, this is honestly not really looking that great for Prevail right now, as they are just kind of forced into a hole. Evening just needs to go ahead for the plant and not try and go aggressive. He's going to get forced back all the way up onto the stairs, but with only 15 seconds remaining, Reaper is forced to drop. He's covering an angle that he's just going to get punished. Honestly, more smoke grenades coming out. Evening is just having a heck of a time trying to make anything happen. On the backside, though, Mango is actually able to pick up one as he pushes all the way around. A bunch of missed shots by both players. The knife is missed. Finally, Insane is able to pick it up. Where was the plant? What?
Why isn't Evening planting?
Why isn't he planting? Oh my God, what?
Like, before the first smoke even came out, he ran on and he was not being hit by the first smoke, and he didn't plant. He kept challenging. Like, you saw that, I saw that, the whole stream saw that. What are you doing, Evening? And then he kind of ran out. He baited out the smokes. Mango got a huge play from behind. He could have had an easy plant and just held the angle right there as Mango's battling him, but I don't know what he was doing. He was like, I don't know. I guess he was just anticipating something else.
Honestly, I don't even know what to say about that, other than if you're Evening, you either got to do one of two things. You got to either commit to the plant, or you got to go and help Mango out from behind. Because let me tell you, if Evening had pushed up and into Laundry and was able to get that frag, that would have been an easy win for them, right? That was just, oh no, dude. That was such an easily winnable round, too. That is just absolutely heartbreaking for Prevail. Reverse, however, has now said, hey, we're here to play. We're here to stay. They're up 2-1.
Yeah, no, I'm impressed with how Reverse is playing it. Although they have a little bit of some issues that we've seen, but they've done a lot better since their match against Flipside. Now that could just be because Flipside is Flipside, and they're a pro league team compared to this team. But I definitely think that I really want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they went over the VOD and they looked over the mistakes they made and they adjusted to it as they needed. Now, I don't know if they replace someone with a Boulder or if Boulder's a stand-in or whatever that happened, but whatever's whatever's happening, they just need to keep doing it and keep practicing it, and they could be like the next Flipside.
That's a good way to put it. I'm wondering, I know for sure that we played Consulate. Do you remember what the second map was that they played against Flipside?
Pretty sure it was Border or Oregon, too. One of those two.
Yeah, so if it was Oregon, then they're definitely taking the lessons learned to heart here, and they look pretty solid, honestly, right now. There's nothing that I can say, yeah, you definitely are, screwing up, for sure here every single round, but no, they seem to be doing, pretty decently right now. Prevail trying to defend this upstairs bomb site. Nothing too crazy. Smoke's already down on low HP. Honestly, nothing, like I said, nothing too crazy here. We just need to see Reverse. She's just looking for the picks here. They've already got white stairs control as well. And with a minute and 40 left, white stairs control is actually, honestly, very, very important. Evening is able to pick up the first kill of this round onto that Ash. That is actually from all the way back in kids' dorms. Gotta say, Avenge, I'm surprised he was not able to get a refrag from white stairs, but still, They need to be doing something off this PlayStation control, because if they don't, it's just a big waste. You know, you've got the Buck, you've got the Capital there, but they're not doing anything. They're just waiting for their team to do something, and they don't even have a breacher nearby Master. Looks like we will be seeing a little bit of a Mongoloid play here from Avenge, but that immediately gets shut down. Hey, buddy, you got a minute left in the round. You definitely can't be doing that. There's still mirrors up in Master. Pretz just hops in. He gives away his position. He immediately gets punished for it. Oh, man, Reverse, what is happening? You guys just went from doing so well to all of a sudden practically throwing, like you're just giving up free ground for no real reason. That's going to be the Buck smoked out. His nade just got ADS, as well as Mango comes on the flank, is able to pick up Insane. Meanwhile, Scorch is able to finish the round by taking down Boulder, excuse me. What? That was such a I don't know, change in pace.
I don't know if I'm bad luck, but I'm just gonna stop saying like which team is like good or which team's like doing what, because clearly they just kind of like, yeah, they got the white stairs control, they set it up, they had their Capital run into kids when their Buck was in kitchen holding an angle, when Buck could have easily just bucked through the floor and denied a lot of like movement. Like they could have held an angle and bucked through the floor, and they would have had to come out or, you know, challenge the Sledge big window or challenge the Capital on white stairs. But instead, he didn't do anything. And I guess the call was Capital sprint in sight and make a play happen. I didn't really.
That can't be the call.
You can't tell me
that was honestly a minute and like 15 seconds, and the call is, oh yeah, Capital, go ahead and flame off the kid's door and rush in through the big window. Like, hello?
No, I definitely know. I definitely know that wasn't a call. I guess he saw that it was going slow just like we did, and he felt like he needed to make a play, and he was just like flame on and like sprinted into sight. But unfortunately, his burners got extinguished real quick. So that is going to be the round for them, but it's going to be an even 2-2 right now. And I mean, I think it's a really good matchup. As much as some rounds are being played really well, some rounds are being played not so well. I just still think it's a really good match.
Yeah, agreed. You know, again, you know, whenever you have two teams at this level that you know they're going to make mistakes, you know, sorry guys, sorry if I'm breaking your hearts, you know, if you're watching through this VOD, but yeah, I'm really sorry. You're going to make mistakes. Yeah, everyone knows it. You should know it too. You know, but the real important part is, you know, don't take those mistakes personally. Just say, you know, hey, listen, this is what we got to do. This is what we did wrong, and we got to come back and try and fix this. But until that happens, we're going to be seeing a lot of these close games between a lot of these lower level teams. And honestly, these are kind of exciting because it's just like you see the weird, wacky stuff, and you're just like, in what world would you have regularly expected that? But that's where kind of like some of the charm comes from, I believe. You know, that's pretty fun.
And just to state, when it's stated that these guys are like lower level, we aren't like saying like, oh, they're bad or they're not good. No. We're just saying we don't believe them to be the level of competency and competitive C as the tier 1 team. I'd rate most of these teams around tier 2, around tier 3, because there are a mix of challenger teams. There's a mix of you know, underage teams that don't have the ability to play in ESL, but they do here and they play really well. And as I'm rambling, Tater's gonna get fully blinded as he's gonna get pushed in by Reaper, and Reaper's gonna cleanly take him out, but Boulder's gonna be right on the heels of him. He's gonna see the bullets. He's not gonna push, even though the shots are gonna play. He's just gonna hold his tight angle. Reaper's gonna walk into him, and he's gonna get the clean kill onto the Ying. Now that's an even man count. That's a good thing from Boulder right now. He just needs to fall back and play with his team, which looks like what he's gonna be doing. But Mango and his team are gonna be already in kitchen as Boulder's gonna get droned out. The castle is limiting him from leaving there, as the team's gonna slowly pressure him and kind of like put him. He's gonna be stuck into Tridor as he's gonna peek out, and Evening's gonna see, but unfortunately he's not gonna get the play. But I don't know if Boulder knows he downs him. I hope he knows he downs him. Pretz is going to get the kill onto Lance, though, as Boulder is going to be here, and Evening's calling for his teammates. He's asking for something. Pretz got the kill on top, which was a good play, but Boulder's still down there. Scorch is going to be holding the angle. Oh my god, and just look to your left. Look to your left. And of course, Scorch is going to run into the crosshair through the hole, which is going to get a play. Mango's going to be left in kitchen with 40 seconds on the clock, and Bomb is down. With one player down, Evening, who's going to be bleeding out. And he's feeling the cold floor right now because Mango's going to be stuck here trying to get out of this room. He knows there's a player above kids holding the angle. He ashed it open, and that just gives Avenge more room to look through. And Boulder's going to be stuck here, just holding the angle, just waiting for Evening to bleed out. And Mango can't do anything because the front door is castled with only 15 seconds on the clock. Boulder's finally going to pick up Evening as he bleeds out. Mango doesn't even have bomb. He's going to be running into sight. They have a crossfire. They have Pulse and Twins who's going to be scanning him out. Pret's going to go for an aggressive pick, giving his life away to Mango. Mango's going to take it as a 1v3 though, and there's going to be a sick crossfire from Insane. And he is going to pick up as Mango rustles through that barbed wire. Unfortunately, I didn't really have that much hope for Mango, but good try on him to pick up his teammate, but the castles just kind of stopped it.
You know, honestly, Prevail did a fantastic job taking Kitchen. And when you take Kitchen, you have a lot of control underneath. You can start doing a lot of work. And unfortunately, we just saw the two players from Prevail just kind of get overextended, in my opinion. You know, the Ying peeked into Pantry. She got picked off. And then we had the Habana, of all people, ran into a meeting on the stage and then got downed. Where's the drones? Where's the entry fraggers? You know, you don't want to go in front of your drones. You don't want to overstep your bounds. And unfortunately, that's just kind of what happens. You know, on round one, when Tater kind of like did that wide peak, exact same thing. You know, he just kind of went for that like over aggression and he got too overextended. And unfortunately, he got punished for that. And that's exactly the same thing we just saw to Prevail. You know, they just kind of went too far without that info. They didn't realize the castle was there. They just needed a drawn out meeting. There's no reason to keep pushing him there. And I get the Habana wanted to get the refrag, but when you don't like have a plan, it's not going to be worth it. Looks like Reaper's going to go ahead and drop. We might have a rehost here. This definitely should be a rehost since it was in the first 15 seconds of the round. I got to say, in a 3-2 scoreline, this is a much closer game than I think anyone expected coming out the gates.
Now, I don't know what both teams are thinking right now, but I definitely expected more from PVL. I don't know why. I've never really watched them play. I just expected more from PVL, based off of the plays that I did see them make in the rounds they won. Because when they win, it's a more, I feel, in my opinion, it's a more decisive win than the ones that reversed wins. Because like I said, they won around because they didn't get a plant off. It was just kind of a, I don't know. I feel like reverse is showing that they can, you know, play with the big boys, but they still need a little more tweaking. But I mean, with the tweaks that they've made is definitely improving right now. And PVL is a team that I don't know much about. So, I mean, I just want to get into the rest of this game, but the rehost is going to be coming out. Something that interested me was the way I think PVL was setting up the site. We'll go a little bit more into it once the rehost has happened. But right now, we're just going to be waiting for everything. So it's going to be a 2-3 scoreline as we wait.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get it back to the lobby. We're gonna, you know, see if we can get these players back. Hopefully, it won't take too long, guys. We maybe even, you know, go and take a, you know, a short little break here, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, just while we get all these players back in. Thanks for sticking around. We'll be right back.
Yeah, PVL starting on defense. So thanks everyone for waiting. Sorry for the short issue. Now, what do you think PVL has to do here, Talon, on this defense round to kind of bring it back for the win? Because clearly they have an echo, so it looks like they're going to be going for like a stall play.
Yeah, so we probably should be seeing a lot of anchor play, maybe an Echo, Smoke, and Mira all downstairs. Might even see a potential for a, you know, a roam. You know, we're not seeing that castle anymore, so I honestly would like to see a Mango Scorch, you know, roam over on the like the kids and like dorm side of the map. I think that would actually really kind of catch them off guard, since so many people just say, hey, we're not going to really roam, we're just going to, you know, chill out. And don't get me wrong, it is very hard to roam on a map like Oregon, but if you can catch them off at a good time, it can waste a lot of time. You can get a lot of frags, and it is a risk. Don't get me wrong, but I do think it's a very good calculated risk, especially when you have that echo. Now, one thing I would maybe do, I would maybe bring in Ella instead of maybe like a Jaeger. You don't really particularly need a Jaeger here, or even a Bandit. You know, swap an Ella for one of those two. You know, throw down a couple of Ella Mayans, you know, go upstairs, and that just makes that roam just that much more deadly. We do have a Ying on Insane for reverse, I believe it is. So it's going to be kind of tough to say, you know, will they be able to just go and Ying out any roamers, or are the roamers going to even play next to each other? Because I believe last time we saw Scorch, I think it was Scorch, playing up in tower, and Mango is now over in kitchen, so they are now definitely separated here. I don't agree with this. I think they definitely need to be seeing like a buddy combo, and as I say that, Mango's going to rotate back out, so maybe he read my mind here, as that both are now sitting inside a tower.
Correct. I definitely think Mango is maybe there to spot a drone. And something I mentioned before the break is that if you looked at Blue Tunnel, they used they used 5 reinforcements to cut off all of Blue Tunnel. Like, I don't understand why they would do that. It definitely shows that they're going to be doing kind of like a stall play. And as I say that, they're 2 buddy roamers. One of them gets picked off, Scorch, by Tater, who is just going to be kind of relaxing inside the meeting hall right now, making sure that the bandit that they previously spotted over in kitchen doesn't move. But they don't know that Mango made it to the lower tower and now he's inside sight. Now this is where the back blue reinforcements, I don't believe, I think their reinforcements are a little mismanaged, mainly because the hatch is open there. They can just drop into blue, so those reinforcements don't help a whole lot. But I mean, so far their roam is definitely stalled. They haven't really taken control of all the way through meeting yet. But as I say this, it looks like they're going to shoot the Capitao arrows out and try and maybe go for a plant. The smokes will block the mirror and the closet as Boulder is going to be running through. He got blinded by his own Yings, but the plant's still going to be going down. But that Echo and the missed Ying is going to definitely punish them as Lance takes down Boulder. That is their Hibana down, going for the plant, and unfortunately the bomb diffuser is down. Now, they messed up Ying, kind of like cut off the team from being able to help him in a situation like that, which I would say, I would call it a good play if you were on the defending side, but unfortunately, that's not what you wanted, as Avenge is taken out by Lance from the skylight, from the hatch, my bad. And I believe he does know Avenge is gone down, but he doesn't want to go for that, risky play. Pretz is going to be kind of risking his life right now. Oh, and Lance is going to avoid his death, trying to throw a smoke onto the stall. They do know the diffuser's down in the corner. They don't need to make any hasty moves. There's 40 seconds. Its time is slowly ticking down. It's like they don't need to do anything. Tater's going to come from the back and take down Evening as he's going to be sliding through, getting hit by the bandit charge. He only has a little HP to spare as his teammate Pretz has gotten the bomb and Lance has given up on the mirror. Reaper's going to be there and Mango's going to be up top to take Insane. 20 seconds, but bomb is going down. Pretz is going to get taken down by Reaper as he pushes down, and Mango's going to get 2 up top as Lance finishes off Tater in the back. Now, good play from PVL to claim that victory, just stalling out as much as they could until Reverse just kind of panicked, and they were just able to kind of dismantle their attack.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic job there on Mango's part. He started up in tower, his buddy got picked. He fell all the way back down into sight. And then he realized, hey, guess what? They're not actually watching the flank anymore. They didn't have a proper drone setup or anything like that. So they're just like, hey, we're just going to send a flanker. And there you go, Mango. I think he actually was able to pick up, I want to say 2. Yeah, he was able to pick up 2 there in that round. So fantastic job from him. Able to really step up on that flank. But that just goes to show, Reverse, you're not ever out of the woods yet, because you just got to say, hey, listen, we got to watch the flank. We know that we have all this control. Get someone on the stairs, get someone back there, get a drone on there. Just say, hey, listen, if he needs to come up, we're going to know about it. And that's exactly what they didn't do. So unfortunate for them. I think we are now in a 3-3 scoreline.
I believe it's match point for Reverse.
Oh, no, it is match point for Reverse. Yeah.
It's difficult since like the round restarted. Yeah, everyone. But yeah, something that differs that really like helps to retake that site, which it looked like that's what Reverse was going for, was the fact that they can have the roam up top kind of stop. And they didn't have that many rotates. They didn't have anything. They had to rotate into kitchen that was being held. But like you said, Mango did an absolutely beautiful job of stopping that. And it just makes you think that like Tater started the round off, getting 2 picks right off the bat on their roamer and someone inside who was playing too aggressive. And I don't know. I just feel like he needs a little bit more help here from his team, because he's getting the picks and his team's all set up. And he's like, okay, guys, like we're ready to go. But like no one's helping him. Nobody's doing anything. They didn't get rid of the barbed wire on main stairs. They just ran through with Yings. The Yings kind of, I don't know if it's the nerves, but messed up a little bit. Blinded their own teammate, got one of his teammates killed, planting the bomb, and it was just let trapped there because they have to run through the barbed wire. But as I stop rambling, a minute's already gone by, and they're going to have 3 members inside of the meeting area, one who's going to be an addict. They have a pretty solid hold here if they decide to push, what looks like that's the case that they're going to be doing, as they have Lance inside of kitchen holding down the angle. And I do believe that Reaper did an aggressive play opening up a mirror, opening up a castle, my fault. And Ash is going to be there to help him, and it's just they're just kind of holding right now as the hatch getting open. They don't need to make any aggressive plays. They got them trapped in meeting. And this is all they got to do.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the scoreline is now 3-3. They did swap sides, so that's going to be a little bit confusing for just a little bit. We'll get that fixed as soon as possible. But again, a minute and 30 left, halfway through the round. Reverse still has control of this meeting, right? As I say, Tater's able to pick up Scorches. He tries to enter, so that's the Ying out of commission. We still have the Ash and the Jackal stationed near that pantry, trying to make something happen. Finally, the spray brings down Boulder at 50 round drum, definitely coming in handy as Mango comes around through the double doors. He's trying to find the pick on the Tater. He gets called out by a drone, but meanwhile, Pretz is able to back him up. Pretz was not able to be spotted by that drone, so he's able to punish Mango for pushing in there. 4-on-3. I honestly want to see Pretz just leave. There he goes. He's out of there. Tater is just going to be there on his own, and that's honestly fine. Like, he can die and no big deal. So there he goes. Reaper's going to go ahead and clean him up. It's all up to the Jackal, Twitch, and Habana trying to make this happen. They still have 2 smokes. They should still have some Twitch drones as well. Definitely doable, especially if they can get HG keep mirror open with 40 seconds remaining.
That was some good teamwork from Tater and Pretz right there. Kind of bait the drone out to bait like an aggressive play and get the kill. And now Pretz just ran back to site like he needed, and the play for the bomb is going to be going down. The smoke's going to come out, but I wonder if that Hibana charge did get on. But I mean, I don't doubt that it'll get blown up. Yeah, there's a bandit charge. Yeah, so 15 seconds on the clock. The smoke, I don't know if it blocked the evening from being seen, but he's going to try doing an aggressive plant. And he is going to get shot in the back by Pretz. There isn't enough members to kind of notice. Reaper's still here in meeting. He's going to jump down the back. He's going to see the Jaeger, but unfortunately, Pretz is going to have the upper hand onto Reaper. And the shotgun from Insane is going to clean up Lance. So the round is going to be going to reverse. And if anybody's still confused, the round is now 4-3 for reverse. It is now match point going to the next round. And I mean, that was it was a good attempt to do an out-of-meta plant from PVL, but unfortunately, it didn't work.
Matt A here for the saving grace, giving us those score lines. Good job indeed. I got to say that plant was kind of weird because, you still have the smoke grenades. So why not just put it right below the hatch and then just go for a standard plant from there or try to bait out some C4s? But instead, they got up too close to that mirror. Remember, that mirror was battered. So that probably gave them a little bit of a clue in saying, hey, they're planting right next to the mirror. Just go and shotgun through the smoke. And that's probably exactly what just happened. So like you said, we are on match point. This is going to be all on reverse on this attack. They've proven, before, hey, they can make it happen. However, Prevail, I believe, actually won this last defense. Wait a sec. We're seeing a little bit of a swap up. Prevail has now decided to actually go down into kitchen. Last time, I think we saw them actually hold upstairs in the master hallway. I think they've actually decided to now go to kitchen. This is an interesting swap up, and I completely agree with this. Now, they're also trying to copy, I believe it was one of the Brazilian strats. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Brazilian strats were up in kitchen, or up in kids, where you have the 2 reinforcements. There's 3 walls that separates dorms from and kids.
They created that.
Yeah, so definitely a Brazilian strat there. And then you can put a mirror on the far left one, and that is actually super strong. It forces anyone trying to rush all the way through to go just right through the middle, a little bit more obvious what they're doing. I kind of like this setup. I like that they're, doing the research and, playing it out. I'm not sure if Reverse is going to be ready for this. Right? Picks up the first one onto Tater. Not looking good.
That was a beautiful shot from the bathroom hall. Not the bathroom hall, but the bathroom connecting wall that goes into kitchen. Just a nice cheeky angle out until the into the outside dining door. That was a really beautiful shot from Scorch right there, giving the man count in favor of the defense. Now, it's honestly, Reverse is a match point right now, so they definitely need to kind of tighten up and play more as a team. It was an unlucky pick. He was definitely not in. It wasn't his fault that he got picked. He just didn't know. But right now, in this mindset, they got to be like, all right, guys, we got to play together. We got to get some drones out. They got to slowly take everything together. And so now they just have a Reaper who's pretty much cut off from the rest of his team inside of kids. Unless the Evening has some shotgun holes through the floor, he's literally cut off from his team by a floor and by a wall. He's by himself right now, stuck behind the wall, and he's going to get inside of cabinets and probably escape through a meeting if he needs to. But right now, I'm not seeing the pressure from Reverse that they need to be playing. Pretz is in this hall. They're in the hall. They got some angles, but they're not really doing anything. They haven't gotten to kitchen. They haven't made any plays. They're still anticipating that they're going to be there, and that's going to cost them Pretz's life. From Scorch, he's going to do an aggressive play into the hall and get a pick on both of the men who were on drone. And Evening is also going to take out Insane. So now there's 2 men alive with a minute left on attack. And PVL, all they have to do is just kind of wait and hold on to their horses for the next minute, and they win this round.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that's going to be the very first pick up there for reverse from Boulder onto Lance. Right as I say that, another pick is going to be Avenge onto Mango. This is definitely not what they need to be doing. Scorch, go upstairs. You don't need to be playing this aggressive. You have such a man advantage. It was a 5-on-2 situation. However, he will be actually pick up Avenge as he gets a little bit too aggressive. Even is going to go ahead and finish off that round. And with that, we are going into overtime. Overtime 4-4. Gotta say, I wasn't quite expecting the comeback there. I thought, honestly, Reverse was like they were ready to go, but then they just slowed down too much. They weren't ready for that kitchen hold. I like the swap up that PVL brought out.
That was definitely it was a good job for PVL to abuse the anti-aggression to abuse the early round aggression and the anti-aggression later in the round to their benefit. And they had some really good plays, really good picks. And the lack of them not opening up the front door allowed, I'm pretty sure it was Scorch and Mango to kind of just have their way with meeting in that front door. That's usually something you want to open up right away, so it scares roamers who are running across. You don't want them to just be sprinting by, kind of assuming that it's clear if it's closed. So it's a good thing that they knew what to do, especially if it was closed. But I'd really like to see PVL go up against a smarter reverse that's able to open up these things and do kind of a more intellectual approach to the site.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Reverse they proved that they can handle it. However, that's actually the second time in a row that they were actually unable to really attack that upstairs. I think the very first time, PVL just got super aggressive on them, and it seemed to work out fairly well. However, both of those two rounds, Prevail was just like, hey, this is going to be our upstairs site. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them go upstairs first once again. That just seems to be their side. I mean, or their site, excuse me. And they need to be trying to abuse that as much as possible, especially since we're going into OT. Don't give reverse any little bit of advantage that they can. And then maybe at the same time, maybe even clean up that basement defense. I think that would really help them out a ton.
And as we clean that up, just to justify, we are going to be rehosting for OT because there was an original rehost during the game due to technical difficulties. So it is going to be oh my god, Perverse. I'm blanking on the name. Prevail is going to be starting on defense. If I'm sure for the first round of OT, we're just going to get everyone up in the lobby and then start it up as soon as possible so that there isn't a huge time gap. But right now for OT, Reverse has a disadvantage starting on attack. So what do you think they have to do, or is there something they specifically have to do or counter so that they're able to pick up this first attack round, which most of the time the defense has the advantage right off the bat, just because it's defense?
So since PVL is going to be starting on defense, we should see them go to that upstairs site. What they honestly need to do, reverse, they need to figure out, all right, they've seen two strats now from PVL. They've seen a strat holding in the master hall, and then they've seen a kitchen strat. And if they see the kitchen strat, they need to decide one or two things need to happen. You either say, A, we're going to go for the kitchen. You can smoke at that mirror or twist drone, open the mirror, and then push in from there, nade the barbed wire, frag your way in with the Ying, and then do damage from underneath. Last time, I believe earlier in the match, I think it was maybe round one, they actually got control of kitchen with a buck underneath. They actually, if you remember, sent a buck and a capital up the white stairs, did nothing, absolutely nothing from there. You need to get that buck underneath and hold and start opening up that kitchen. Go for a kids plant, get someone on the kids repel with a diffuser, send them in as soon as you know it's clear from underneath, and then that's an easy plan from there. Now, your second option is to actually say, all right, they've got a lot of utility over by kitchen. We don't want to try and push kitchen. Let's actually just go around. Let's go for a master armory take. That would require, honestly, a Blackbeard, open up into armory, hold that long angle, thermite open into small, try to bait out all the C4s, bait out all the smokes, and then just go for a cheeky plant, have someone on a big window, hold an angle all the way down the hall, and make a good, nice little crossfire going on. And then there you go. I mean, that's two fairly basic ways. I think we saw Reverse actually try to do something pretty cheeky. I mean, they did go for kind of like a tower push the last time as well. I need to see them just kind of bring it back together, stick together, and I think it would honestly work. But with that, we will be seeing the Bucks, so that means that they should be knowing, okay, yeah, they should be going upstairs. We know that they're probably going to go upstairs, but they kind of got juke. PVL saying, nope, we're gonna assume that they think that we're going to go upstairs. So mind games coming out for PPL as they choose the bottom site first. They have, I believe, lost this once before, so they definitely not the cleanest track record on this site, but I think they did it to kind of throw off the operators, which indeed they did, as they do have a buck on the attacking team.
I definitely thought that they should have gone upstairs because I don't really believe anybody's done super well on the basement hold. Not that they just haven't been playing it right, just like both teams have been doing well, have been exceeding well on countering what the other team is lacking and kind of like making the right play. And both teams have been playing well based off of that. So the basement is kind of one of those sites where you can't roam sufficiently without being cut off from the rest of your team, which is a disadvantage. So especially since reverse, like and both teams, especially with Scorch and Mango, and then Tater and Avenge, both those aggressive players who have both been doing so well on defense due to their roaming, a site like this kind of limits them, especially since they either have to play in meeting or they have to play in back tower, which it looks like that's what they're doing, big tower. They just aren't able to go for these aggressive plays that they're normally able to do on defense because they have so much more room defending upstairs.
So last time we actually saw this, PVL had Mango and, of course, Scorch up there. Scorch got picked off early. No big deal because Mango actually went all the way back to site and then went for a late flank. Now, the question is, will Reverse be ready for something like that? You know, are they going to station a drone? Are they going to station someone there to say, hey, guess what? We got to be ready for this. We know it's going to come. And honestly, you just have to be ready for it, which I'm not sure if they will be. I guess we'll see. What about an early bit of action? Nothing too much. Scorch going down about 50 HP. Nothing too crazy, as these hasn't really faced any real pressure. As a result, Mango's kind of fallen off. He's kind of just chilling there. So they still have the site. Tater is crawling his way into meeting, waiting for a quick, nasty rotate. I don't think he's going to see that yet, as I believe the rest of Reverse is just saying, all right, listen, they can have tower. They can have it. But we're going to go ahead for this front site, use that buck, open it up, start taking control. Reaper, super exposed position, if you ask me. If they can just drone him out, he can be easily capitowed and killed for free, basically. Just needs to get a quick free drone, and then that is going to be the end of his life. That is super risky place to play. Where is that Capitao? Where is the pre-drone? Capitao has the fire out, but he just doesn't know. Oh, that's so unfortunate for him. As I say that, we're going to be starting to see a little bit of back pressure come in as the execution has begun. Avenge has used all 4 of his arrows, so he's going to go down there. Echo drone is going off. Help stopping the plant. The diffuser is in sight, but he's going to go ahead and get smoked out. No, excuse me. Lance is able to pick off his head as he's getting smoked and forces him out. So that's going to force a little bit more attackers all the way down there. There is still 1 smoke grenade remaining with about 45 seconds left. They know the diffuser is now down in sight. They saw it in the hands of Thatcher when the yokai was in play. I'm not sure if the yokai is still alive. It does not look to be, so it looks like that might have gotten taken out. However, Reaper is still close by with that bearing 9, and we've seen some great things before with a close-up bearing 9. Looks like Lance is able to pick up another one trying to go for the plant. That's going to be the buck out of commission. Avenge is going to push all the way through, but he gets caught out again. Look at that diffuser. It's all the way out there, and this is what happens when you're not able to fully get the plant down with your smokes remaining. Tater's just baiting out a bunch of shots, trying to get it picked. Not going to be able to get it as he gets heat from the hallway. Meanwhile, Mango on the flank is able to clean up that round.
Yeah. Something that I don't understand is the reason this attack they did previously in the beginning of the game too. And the reason it didn't work is because those smokes don't really stop Smoke from throwing his smokes, especially if you're a good smoke player who plays behind that mirror every single day in scrims. You know exactly where to throw your smokes depending on where someone's planning. And usually if someone does a smoke like that, they're either, most teams, like I would want to say like most teams at this level will plant behind those laundry bins. So it's just an easier way of telling them like, hey, we're going to plant here by smoking your Mira. So I really want to see something like they smoked off the Mira, the hall, and the laundry. So they could have easily just planted like right as they drop down the hatch or something. They didn't have to go for a plant there, but they do time and time again. And it just leaves someone like Lance, who's the smoke behind there, just picking them off. And once you get the bomb down, once you kill the bomb diffuser, the person who's planting the diffuser, the diffuser stuck there, and people have to come down the stairs and run through Barb and go get it. And like you saw, Lance got 2 kills, the Capitao, and I'm pretty sure it was the Hibana off of that for absolutely free, because they just ran across and they have to get the diffuser, and they were running through Barb, and it's a disadvantage for them, so they just gave their lives away to Lance. So that's something that I didn't really want to see Reverse do, because it was, I don't know, it was really it's not common to them, especially like how well they've been playing throughout the whole match. I was hoping to see something more out of meta or more proficient that they could have pulled out, rather than doing the same thing that didn't work at the beginning and they assumed would work now. Especially they didn't even get rid of barbed wire. So
yeah, completely agree with you there. So the site is going to be upstairs once again. We're seeing Reverse with this heavy meeting hold. We'll be seeing Prevail once again going from the tower side, just kind of chilling out. They're not really doing too much. A minute into the round, they're already taking control. They've got holes into the bridge. They're going to start getting drones around.
Oh,
Flirting with danger. Scorch almost takes her head off, but she gets away with her life. She's just going to hold it. She actually only has 1 mine remaining. Remember, those mines are super important for trying to deny a plant, especially if it's in smoke. A little bit of a pulse downstairs, actually. This is very unusual. This isn't unusual. We've seen pulses down here before. However, we haven't seen this so far, and so he just really needs to play safe, because if he can play safe and then come up later in the round enough so that he can get like a C4 off on the pincher, that would be absolutely huge. So I don't think he needs to be going for a kill, like, unless he absolutely knows he can get the kill. I'd rather just see him just play safe, don't get droned, and just kind of chill. And then we've already proven these two teams have not really been watching their flank like at all. Both of these guys really not really that great at it. So you should actually honestly be able to get a nasty flank off, no matter who you are.
Yeah, it looks like Tater and Press are actually ready for the flank, as Lance is going to pick up Avenge. Now that's their Ella down, which usually for a play like this, you want to be able to have her Ella charges ready, or even her gun is just super useful. And she was in Kid, so she was in the prime place to throw it. But unfortunately, I'm really depending on Tater and Press to be able to go for this kill, these flanks. And as I say that, Press is going to get a beautiful pulse kill from behind a big tower, and Insane's going to get the kill onto Lance, who is repelling on the window. That's a Thatcher and Ying down, so they don't have smokes and they don't have EMPs. So now they're just left kind of with these a frag operator, which is Ash, and then these glorified frag operators that are pretty much like useless once they've used their abilities. So Pretz is going to go for kind of like an aggressive peek outside. He missed the head, but Mango's going to be full prone there waiting. So I really hope Pretz doesn't walk through there. He's stalling as much time as he needs, but Evening is going to pick off 2, or I believe he's going to pick off 1, and his teammate Reaper is going to be down, as Pulse is. Pretz is just going to be dancing around with Mango, and Insane is going to clean off Evening as Reaper's down. So Mango over here just wasting his time with Pretz, and Pretz did a beautiful job wasting his time jumping in and out of the window. He's the last man alive. Can't pick up his teammate. He's going to run to smoke. There's 5 seconds left. He's not going to get the plant down. He's going to get taken out by Insane, as Evening was actually the one to down Reaper. So unfortunately, it's going to be a misplay on the team. I guess it was when he was trying to get the kill onto the person white stairs. His teammate walked in front of him. Unfortunately, he took out his teammate, and then Mango was stuck dancing around with Pulse. So unfortunately, a great play. It was a great play from Reverse right there, but Prevail just kind of looked like silly putty in a kid's hand, in my opinion.
Well, this match is certainly going the distance indeed. Both Reverse and Prevail proving that they are more a defensive side of team rather than attack, focusing more on those flanks really coming into big hand there. Honestly, that Pulse wasted a ton of time. Not a whole lot of utility was used to really try and deny the Pulse. I mean, he obviously shot through, gave away his position early in the round. No one really even sent a drone down there to check what he was at or what he was doing. But with that, we will be seeing Prevail once again holding this upstairs site. They've proven twice now that they know how to do it. They know how to hold kitchen. They can hold upstairs. They realize what they need to do. This is a tall task for Reverse to try and make something happen.
And it is going to be double overtime. So this is the last round, I believe, that either team, whichever team, it's pretty much sudden death. Whichever team wins this round is going to be coming up on top here and taking Oregon as the first map. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So besides anything, they're still doing the same kind of setup that they've been doing since the beginning. And usually you want to see some versatility from a team, but a team at this caliber, it's not 100% needed. Of course, it looks better and it's more proficient for a team, but it's not the end of the world. So Castle also going to be coming out. I'm not a huge fan of Castle with the upstairs, but of course I've been proved wrong, because both teams have done really well with the Castle. They are going to be holding this Armory master side, and both teams on attack have been prompting to go for that Armory and master take, which I don't think has worked for either of them, at least not super well. So I'd hope I really hope Reverse goes for a big window kids take. They already have big tower right off the bat, so they don't need to worry for a flank. Just sit someone there and go repel onto kids. But they don't have the Blackbeard that's able to help them. And right now they're just they have the position they need, which is big tower. They have the armory, which is still being held by the enemy. So there's gonna have to be a gunfight there. But they slowly backed up until the kids' twin bed kind of cutoff door. So I'm really hoping that they can make something happen. But at the same time, they're doing the same thing over and over again. So I really think that it's going to hurt them when they go for this siege onto the site.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, they decided to put that mirror up in master hallway, and it got boarded fairly easily. I would have liked to have seen that downstairs in kitchen, maybe hold that a little bit, play a pulse underneath. However, we're not seeing either of those two things. It's going to just be a collapse fest. How fast can Reverse, take up the ground? How well can they get the master open, push everyone back? There's only one C4 on the hands of Mira. That is super, super risky. There is a smoke here. So, I mean, that's good for them, but there's no Ella either. So they could very easily go for a smoke plant. However, there's no smokes on the attacking team either. This is just such a very peculiar lineup. What's the point in bringing all this if you're just not even gonna have a smoke and you're gonna be going for a small plant like this? Small plants definitely need smokes as a little bit of a support, but if you're not gonna have it, it's gonna be a little bit risky. Tater on the flank here, maybe see if he can find something up wide stairs as Lance and Scorch both find a kill of their own. This is a fantastic start for PVL. Reaper looking like he was gonna get spammed there, but he gets away with his life. Honestly, 40 seconds left. Reverse, you're not going to have a whole lot of time. You got to start doing things. Scorch is now on the flank. He's going to be looking for a kill on behind. Looks like he's going to meet up with Insane. Insane's actually going to pick up the kill on the Scorch. That will actually potentially leave White Stairs open as Boulder pushes into sight. No, Insane actually picks up another one on the Lance as Mango finds the body of Boulder, brings it to a 2-on-3. Just as I say that, it just leaves all up to Insane as Mango picks up one. He's going to get picked off as Mango finds a double kill on the flank. That's going to be GG 6-5 in favor of PVL on this map, number 1. Second map, we're going to Border.
Beautiful play from Mango, honestly. At first, I was kind of questioning why they had a castle at that wall. That could have easily been bandit tricked, especially they just had a thermite. They weren't really doing it much else. It could have easily been bandit tricked, and I didn't really know where Bandit was. I think he was in the basement doing the roam, which he clearly helped win his team the game. But yeah, I would have liked to seen maybe Bandit tricking that wall. It's really difficult for them to get off of it, especially since they didn't have anybody in that connector window opening to be able to see the bandit tricking. So it was a free Bandit. And I think a lot of teams made some mistakes. A lot of teams made some very good plays, just like the one we just saw, which won Mango the round. So good on them. I'm hoping to see in the second round if Reverse is able to kind of step up and get a win, or if Prevail's just going to take it 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. Taking it the distance indeed. Prevail coming into this definitely much more favored here. Both teams, like you said, made a bunch of mistakes, but hopefully they'll be able to go back to the VOD, realize, all right, we need to start setting up flank drones, because honestly, I feel like flanks accounted for 50% of all those wins. Was just purely off of the hands of whoever was flanking. Were they able to make kills or not? Gotta say, good job to PVL for being able to pull out map number 1. That's given them a huge advantage going into map 2, which is going to be Border. So with that, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with map number 2. Like I said, it will be Border. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you soon. Lights out. Hey guys, welcome back to the series number 2, map number 2. First map went in favor of Prevail, 6-5. That went the distance. Had a couple of rehosts, so slowed it down just a little bit. However, Prevail finally, off of the shoulders of their defenses, were able to bring it back. Gotta say, it was a little bit too close for comfort for them. However, maybe swap it up on Border. What do you think, Fox?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't that many attack ones, and if there was, I think there was only one for each side. And
yeah,
I'm hoping on Border that they're able to the big thing on attacking is that they all attacked the same way, the same time. And the first couple of rounds, the first 2 or 3 rounds, it's okay, yeah, it's maybe it'll work, maybe they weren't paying attention. But after once it goes that far into that many rounds up until double overtime, you'd anticipate that they'd try and do something else, or or one of the players would try and feel a little neglected and want to do something for the team, make a play. And I saw a lot of plays being made. Most of it came from the roamer side on defense, but for this, I'm really hoping that they do something different, that they can attack both sites, that they can maybe abuse the fact that they both think that they don't watch flanks and use that as a way to kind of like outplay the flankers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think, honestly, this map, I feel like everyone knows what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say East Stairs, dude. East Stairs, you got to watch it. Tater, I'm looking at you, Mr. Thatcher boy. You got to watch East Stairs. If you're not going to watch East Stairs, your team's going to lose, especially if you try to go for that. I mean, it's not as critical if you're going for a CC like security, push into a box, but it is still super, super important. Make sure you kill anyone trying to rotate out or trying to rotate in for that matter. And it's just so critical. You have to have it every single round. If you're watching it now and you go play some ranked, then let me tell you, go sit on East Stairs for a bit. You're going to get a couple of kills. People running around in that second floor hallway, as well as, taking out that camera is also important. Getting into round number 1, we will be seeing Prevail is actually going to be playing a mirror inside of security. Nothing too crazy. They're actually also bring a mute. I gotta say, I would have rather have seen an Ella. I think there's just too many entry points, into CC to really effectively mute them all. At some point they're just gonna end up, throwing them through or just using a Thatcher. Whereas an Ella definitely could use that gun, that 50 bullets, super great damage, and of course that super powerful, if not overpowered, Ella mine. That is super, super crazy. But with that, we'll see exactly what Reverse decides to do. Tater is actually positioning himself over by East Stairs, and boy, I hope you watched the previous series, because if so, you would have known what your job is. And good job for him. Looks like he's going to get control.
Boulder already doing something that you would like. He went onto the roof and made sure that his teammate can get onto the East Stairs quickly, and that's something that, if he leaves the Claymore and just plays near there, that's going to be perfect. I think Talon will be ecstatic. They are going to have 2 people there. He's still on the roof holding up, so they're maybe a little overkill. But Pretz is going to be onto the AC unit, as the team is still going to be holding near CCTV. I don't think they should make any differences. A little bit of a kind of more replacement and good placing from the team. They realize and they can adapt to the attack that's happening. As you can see, Reaper pushed up into Fountain and Scorch took his position on the Mira. And this is good, some good positioning taking. Only a minute's gone down. They've already got all the important things that they need. Now what I want to see them do is kind of make it so that they can get into Fountain successfully. And I know there's a Mira helping the guy in Fountain, but I'm really expecting them to nade out or, have the guy in Fountain evacuate. Also, if someone made a play or a C4 onto Pretz right now, he's easily scoreable. And as I say that, Avenge takes out Scorch, who was the man behind the Mira. And that's the Thermite. So that's something that, you don't want to lose. The guy on the Mira is the one who's helping you the whole time. So now Lance and Reaper here just going to be kind of stuck as the flash come in from Pretz. He isn't going to jump in, though. Definitely can use the barbed wire. And Insane is going to get a kill onto Reaper, which was the guy Fountain. And now Mango lay a rotate, but he got into position as Avenge is picking up Evening. And that's your Thermite player. You don't normally see the Thermite fragging out, but he's going to come into contact with Lance's shotgun, who's going to throw some smokes out. 50 seconds on the clock, and he's just going to stall some time right now, but Insane is going to push in, and the shotgun of Lance is going to take him out, though. This shotgun looking unstoppable as Pretz is already in. He's going to run in, and he's going to see a dead body as Lance is going to get taken out from the back by Hater, and Mango's going to be the last one here on the Mira. The team doesn't have the bomb. There's one in the window. There's one behind him in Fountain. He's going to rush in thinking that they're planning, and he is going to get the plant onto the kill onto Thader, but he is also going to down. Pretz is going to come in. Oh my god, a beautiful shot, but Boulder's going to come in from behind and finish him off. He didn't know where Boulder was. That was a crazy flick.
That was such a tight angle, and he actually got that. That was actually super impressive. I gotta say, great job from Reverse. They're just getting pick after pick after pick. I was like, oh my goodness, when are these picks gonna stop? Unfortunately, with that smoke shotgun, Tater, I think it was, or not Tater, Lance was just unfortunately too little too late. He did a fantastic job trying to hold. Unfortunately, his team just wasn't quite there to support him. Other than that, I don't know if you noticed. However, they had, I believe it was Evening on Mira. Yes, it was Evening. And they actually held the second Mira until they figured out which side they were going to attack from. And then they put that second mirror up on that archives wall once they realized what was going on. I think that's actually kind of interesting. That's something that not a lot of teams do, even up in the higher levels. And I personally, I think it's kind of underrated. However, I can understand why some teams don't do it. A lot of times you're going to see that second mirror actually supporting the first mirror inside of security. and or you're going to see something like, say, like on Fountain and Box. So there's a couple of different like standard ways you can set up the mirror. However, I personally, I thought it was kind of interesting. You know, that's something that you don't normally see, and it was a good little mini thing in the strategy to help kind of adapt to what the attacking team was doing.
Yeah, we'll call it adaptation in the famous words of Bloodbath, but I really think that it was a really good play from them. And they really had, like, they had the good positioning. Lance was there. He was able to get the 2 picks, but like you said, like, once their Jaeger got picked off inside of CCTV for, I don't know, in God's name, what reason, like, I don't know why he was peeking when he had the angle that he was just supposed to help his teammates and call for a push. But regardless, he got picked, and it caused Mango, who was originally the man who was trying to help behind that mirror and hold the mirror for Lance, had to rotate around, and that costed Lance his life. And he was the one with the shotgun. He was in the golden position. That's the position you want to be if you have a shotgun. Everything's close quarters. They got to push on you, and he got the 2 big frags. He could have kept going if he didn't get ran in on by Pretz, who was from the window. And actually, Pretz almost got killed, by the way, too, because he shot a dead body, and Lance almost hit it. But he did hit him, but not 200 HP. Anyway, the next round is going to be starting. Let's see if PLV can get a round back. They're going to be bucking over in the sandwich spot to get rid of Pretz, who's in a really tricky spot. Kind of chuck a nade up. Ooh, this nade could take him. Unfortunately, it's going to fall right back down on him and do more damage to him. They are going to see him there. If he throws another one, that nade, if it would have gone up, would have been perfect. He is going to be bucking a little more. Pretz is still like unfazed by it, going to try and move around. He's wasting a ton of time now. Just a minute and a half already wasted just by this one Jaeger, and it's almost so hard to get him out. Pretz is just going to be running around, kind of like I said, the term a kid with play putty in his hand. But Scorch is going to get the nade onto Pretz, cleaning up that dome area, so they are going to be able to play it. But you know, Reverse is going to have the kind of momentum and the positioning that they need in this area. I'm pretty sure Tater can kind of shoot. Yeah, he did. He is going to shoot and save that mirror. So now they just got to hunker up. There's a minute down. They wasted their time, but unfortunately, Insane's going to get taken down by Scorch from below. Now this Buck is doing so much right now. And there's just a minute, and they just got to kind of open it up. They have a sight, and Avenge and Tater, 2 of their members, are all on the other side, and Tater's going for a roam now too. So they can honestly just open up the thermite and go for a quick plant.
It looks like Tater's going to be able to pick up Scorch. That's exactly what they needed. You know, when you're in a 5-on-3 situation, you got to be that team. You're looking for the picks. That's exactly what he did. That Buck taken out from underneath relieves a lot of extra angles that could have potentially gotten opened up. However, the rest of the defense is now kind of all gathered together in one little line of defense. However, what are you doing? Avenge on the 1 speed decides to try and push up that second floor hallway. However, that east stairs is going to be able to come in handy. Reaper could potentially get spammed if he doesn't realize it. No, Evening's going to be able to go all the way back through and get pulled. That's going to leave it all up to Tater. Fortunately, in a 1-on-4 situation, I don't think you're going to be able to do it, even if you do have 50 bullets remaining. He does still have an L-mine at his disposal, so he could be trying to do something a little sneaky. However, just too many shots missed as Mango's going to go ahead and finish him up. Gotta say, that was a great round from PVL, able to even out the scoreline. Should be 1-1.
That was a pretty good play, especially that bucking from below. He was able to, eradicate Jaeger from his position, which is really good. He eradicated Pretz, got the kill into him. And also, he killed I want to say it was the smoke hiding in sight in archives. And he was uncontested up until the Ella jumped down, which when it was a 5v3. And at that point, it's a little too late. But he still got rid of the Buck. He could have caused a lot more damage. Maybe even came up main stairs and completely taken down everything. I think it was a big mistake, too, that their Mira, Evening, just kind of was walking down the hall for no reason. He had the C4. He had the Mira. That's what I don't understand. It's unneeded aggression. He had the angle into bomb. If they went for that typical bomb plant behind the bomb, he could have easily seen them. So that's why I'm just gonna say it's kind of the unexperienced for both of these teams, just mistakes that they shouldn't be making.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree here. Now, one of the things that actually really could have helped stop both of those pushes would actually be a bandit sitting inside of Archive's battery tricking the wall. I think that would actually be really neat to help kind of deny that push, allow that smoke to really kind of play his game against one little angle. And we're already seeing PVL with a nice little swap up. They've already decided, hey guys, listen, security is not really working out. We're going to go for a mirror on actually Fountain. I totally agree with this. I love what they're doing here. And I like that it only took them 1 round to get it started. And look, they they've moved almost every single reinforcement over. You know, they got triple wall, they've got fountain reinforced. I mean, that is definitely the heavy side. Now, if you are reverse, you absolutely have to go for a security and box pusher. I mean, there's no other option. You cannot go for that triple wall inside an office. And honestly, that's the big question. Are they going to butt their head against this, or are they going to make the smart decision, realize what's happening, and then rotate around? That's going to be the key to here to look out for.
I really like this setup that they're doing. I'm hoping to see that their roam game is a little, I don't want to say late. I'm just hoping a little better. I hope that they can play. Oh, okay, well, it doesn't look like they're doing a roam. They're kind of just like abducting as much space as they can. And already after the 2 rounds, we can already see that there's a kind of a trend that's happening, that each team is winning on attack. And like I said about being able to kind of have diversity and play any site possible, or attack any site possible, is a hold like this that specifically holds off anybody coming into Dome. And if this team has only practiced Dome, or they're only going to Dome, like if it was the same thing as on Oregon, where they're only able to attack the same thing over and over again, I'm really nervous to see how this unravels. And it already looks like they're going for a typical Dome take, but they have someone there. They have the mirror for the call out. This is going to be so rough for reverse here right now. But, you know, they might be able to make it happen with the buck play that they're having somewhere below. Ooh, and a unique thermite into the fountain wall. That's going to kind of make Mango kind of like scare for his life. He's going to be alone here other than the guy in fountain, but I don't think he's been seen. He just want to give his ways of position. And as I say, that Reaper jumps up and takes down Pretz. That's their Thatcher down. So the Bandit is really going to come in handy now if he can make it out of this. He is going to be still stuck in fountain. I don't think there's a drone or anything that can help him, and he is going to have some help from the smoke on archives, back archives, who can help him out. But like I said, Reaper is in this like fraggable position, and he's so difficult to get out of it without a nade. So 30 seconds on the clock. They are going to push in, and Mango is going to take off the head of Insane, as he is also going to frag Avenge, and a third one's going to come inside, but he is going to not look at him, and Mango's going to get the pick with the flick of the wrist. Oh my goodness, his Boulder takes down Reaper, but it's a little too late to be taking him down, as Mango's already annihilated the rest of his team, and I don't know why they're pushing, but the aggression is coming out, and Mango is going to get taken out by a good shot from Boulder. And the castle right now just in an aggressive position that doesn't need to be had, but he's going to be holding the angle. The smoke is going to come out in the Lance. The mighty smoke is going to toxify Boulder and take him down. There's such a good crossfire on this hole. It's actually a really nice setup, honestly. Unfortunately, they couldn't get anybody out of Fountain or Dome to be able to utilize the thermite or anything.
So yeah, that round honestly just came down to the fact that Reverse refused to push through security and into box. They got scared because of the box wall was open. I don't even understand. Like, you know, why would you push into like an office where you know like has all this utilities, all this barbed wire, all these castles, when all you have to do is just ash site and rush in, and you already have box control. Sure, there might be one mirror there, but guess what? You can just, you know, do a little bit of a nade, trees, or you can go underneath even and open it up. And there's just so many things you can do. I'm honestly just I guess one word to say it is I'm just disappointed right now in Reverse, in the fact that they still try to push into that fountain area. You know, I like the fact that they did kind of open up with the thermite. However, you didn't properly drone it. Like, they didn't quite realize that Mango was, you know, that close nearby, and he was able to pick up, I think, a 3K that round. Just why? You know, why? Yeah, why didn't he get flashed? Like, doesn't Thermite have flashes? Like, you should be able to flash him out. There was no Ying, I don't believe. However, you know, you also have Ash, you have Habana. There are plenty of flashbangs on this team to be able to, you know, try and do that. You know, you shouldn't just be trying to run in and trying to, like, insta-fragging yourself. You should definitely be trying to, you know, go somewhere else when you realize that there's so much stuff there. Just disappointed.
I understand why Buck kind of, like, stuck his head in, and I mean, unfortunately, it got taken out right away, which is a good play for Mango, but I understand why he picked it in. But then, like you said, the Thermite just walked in with no utility at all, especially with the crossfire. Like, he just kind of peeked. I guess he missed some shots, but then the Ash is what I don't understand. Why I think it was Tater. Why did Tater just walk in and, like, he looked the opposite way? He was like, oh, yeah, I don't know where he is. Like, he hasn't moved from the place that he shot two people. He's reloading. You hear the reload sound, assuming that his sound's on, and he just looked the wrong way. and Mango got a good shot onto his head. That was a really beautiful shot. But as I say this, a beautiful play from PVL as Scorch opens up an unsuspecting hole onto Tater, claiming his head. So that's a good man advantage for the attackers right now, which is exactly what PVL needs. And this is a much more confident PVL that we've seen since last game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Honestly, I'm kind of worried right now that Reverse is going to start kind of collapsing and kind of falling apart right now. They kind of like, okay, well, we all kind of started winning our attacks, and all of a sudden the defense kind of came out and they kind of got slapped, by Mango in that 3K. So I'm wondering, are they going to start playing scared? And especially, the fact that they're now playing in a man down and there's a buck underneath. Oh, this is not a good situation for them to be in. They need to rotate immediately down. Press needs to just get out of office and go downstairs.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Evening is going to pick up his own kill onto Boulder. Yeah, this is definitely not good. Pretz has to go for a flank ASAP. I think it's honestly just too late to go underneath. You need to be trying to rush yourself into security. You don't need to be in sight. There's no reason for you to be in sight. Looks like it is now just a little bit too late, as Lance has also rotated over to East Stairs. Buck is now underneath. He's making sure there's no mirrors. There's no bandit either. This is just, honestly, PVL is really doing everything right in this position. 5-on-3, 50 seconds remaining. All they got to do is just clear out some ADSs, throw some flashbangs in, and entry frag their way into sight. We still have the buck underneath. He's going to be causing a lot of things to people to move, and that's going to be the smoke is now out of position, got down, brings it to now a 5-on-2.5, I'm going to say, as he is still technically able to be picked up. And what? He gets picked up? That is actually very important positioning here, because I believe he still has his smoke grenades, and here comes the plant. Do they realize the Reaper's planting? The answer is absolutely maybe. No. Yes, they realize he's planting, but they're not able to. However, they both line up, and Mango is able to pick a double kill. And it's going to be all up to Mir in a 1v5. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in you. You might be able to pick up one, but the diffuser's planted. It's already a quarter of the way ticked down. You got flanks coming in all over the place. Angles being watched. Angles below. Lance has now just been spotted inside of Archives, but has he not? Ooh, Event almost going to go ahead and fall through the hatch. Pick something, do something, pick an angle to peek. He finally makes up his mind, but it was the wrong decision as Lance, with that SMG-11, is able to pick him up from behind. Gotta say, PVL, that was absolutely a fantastic round for them. Did everything by the book and perfectly countered it.
Yeah, PVL showing that they've definitely practiced this map a lot more than the previous one. Even though they still took that, this one is looking a lot more decisive in favor of PVL. Like, Mango's playing out of his mind right now, doing so well on that aggressive Ashe Ella roll, and then Lance being the kind of like support slash like lurker on attack and defense. It was kind of it's really, they're doing so well, and it's not just them. The whole team is setting up properly. The whole team is setting up the right way. And like you said at the beginning, like they let not Thermite, they let I forget who it was. Reverse let someone get picked up after downing them. I believe it was Smoke.
Smoke,
yeah. They let Smoke get picked up after they got Lance get picked up after.
That was the one mistake, I want to say.
That was the only mistake. Like, I don't understand why they let him get up, but regardless, they got him down, and they realized that he was too far in, and this good adaptation that they did where they kind of just said, like, all right, guys, don't overextend, hold the angles, let's go for a plant. They went for a quick plant,